Who would have ever thought that Thor would be the last OG Avenger standing? Yeah, the dude that looks like melted ice cream outlasted Iron Man. But thanks to Endgame and the upcoming Phase 4, the God of Thunder is in a great position to remain a key member of the Avengers going forward. The MCU is in a major transition period right now, and this next phase leading up to Avengers 5 will be vital in shaping the next iteration of Earth's mightiest heroes. This video is all about the next Avengers team, and not only about how we'll get there, but also how Thor will be the central linchpin to this new roster of heroes. Let's get into it. It's kinda crazy to track Thor's character across the MCU. Sure, he was admired enough, but after Phase 1 and 2, did you really think Thor would be the Avenger who got a 4th movie? Iron Man 4 or Captain America 4 just kind of rolls off the tongue. But Thor 4? Definitely not. After disappointing turns in both Thor: The Dark World and Avengers: Age of Ultron, it kinda seems like Thor was becoming unimportant. But then Taika Waititi got his kooky hands on the Thor franchise and suddenly everything changed. By embracing the humor and ramping up the zaniness, Thor Ragnarok completely reinvented Thor. He shifted from being the butt of a lot of jokes to one of the funniest characters in the MCU. And while he was becoming funnier, his story was getting increasingly more tragic. After finally earning the title of King of Asgard in Thor Ragnarok, Thor quickly lost everything in Infinity War, meaning in just 2 movies, he'd lost his father, his brother, his hammer, his home world, most of his people, and his best friend. Pretty heavy stuff. At least Mike is still alive. And after the spiraling descent into a depressed Big Thorbowski for failing to stop Thanos, Thor ended Endgame with a new purpose. He wasn't meant to be king, but rather wanted to set out to go on to new adventures and make his own destiny. And that's fantastic. It sets up Thor to appear in more movies, which is more than we can say about almost every single original Avenger after Endgame. Iron Man snapped his way to a giant iron heap in the sky. Captain America now needs dentures and adult diapers. Black Widow is laying at the bottom of Vormir. Hawkeye will probably never leave his family again unless it's for Disney Plus levels of money. And Hulk suddenly became left-handed. With all the major players off the board, it will be up to Thor to bridge the gap between the old and the new heroes in the next Avengers movie.
So, when can we expect you back?
Because the future is changing, Phase 4 is going to set up a complete new roster of Avengers heroes. Some that we're already familiar with, and some will be introduced for the first time. You'll have returning heroes like Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man, you know, if he ends up staying in the MCU for the long run. But you'll already have some new faces like Shang-Chi, some Eternals, and Jane Foster's Mighty Thor. With all these new and semi-returning faces, it would be nice to have one character that bridges the gap between the old guard and the new one. Before Endgame, I would have given that job to either Iron Man or Captain America. But surprisingly, it's Thor who's in the best position for this. Not only is he a great bridge between the cosmic side of the universe and Earth, especially since New Asgard is now located in Norway, but he can help mentor his new Avengers. This will probably come in the form of Jane Foster, who we know in Thor 4 will wield Mjolnir and become her own superhero known as the Mighty Thor. With Jane inheriting such godlike power, she'll need a teacher who can help her understand her new abilities. And since Thor's schedule is free from now until 2045, where he has an Asgardian dentist appointment that he could easily reschedule if necessary, he could be the one to not only train her, but also incorporate her into the new Avengers team. So Thor's role in the new Avengers will be an interesting one. Because sure, he'll be the only OG, but the team's strength level is completely different now. The first Avengers team had 2 heavy hitters in Thor and Hulk, but this new roster is crazy powerful. Not only do you have Captain Marvel, who's probably the strongest hero in the universe, but now you have the Mighty Thor, who will be just as strong, if not stronger than the original Thor. And throw in Doctor Strange and the Eternals, and you've got to wonder what Thor can bring to the table now. Since it can't be just his strength, he has to bring his knowledge and leadership skills as well. Yes, he's goofier than he was a few movies ago, but he's also suffered almost more than anyone. He'll understand how to keep the new Avengers focused and dedicated, because if he wasn't there, I could see a lot of these strong personalities butting heads and disbanding. Plus, after he spends some time traveling the galaxy by himself, he'll gain an invaluable perspective on the universe. And even if the worst case scenario is that he's just a comic relief type character, then his humor and his heart will become the glue that holds the team together.
I really feel like we were connecting there.
And what happens after Avengers 5? How much can Thor be around for? Can he make it to Avengers 6, Avengers 7, Avengers 15? Sure, why not? Thor has turned into a hero that can feasibly continue on for many more years, and keeping him as the franchise's biggest legacy character might be the smartest move they can make. He's someone who ties back to the original, and has grown into such a great character that he could stick around forever. By completing his King of Asgard arc, he's able to continue on with his fun space adventures with no end in sight. Who knows? Maybe we could see a movie with a much older Thor down the line. What would that film look like? I don't know, but I'd watch it in a heartbeat. So as long as Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi are down for it, there's no reason why they need to stop making Thor movies.
That's what.
How many more Thor movies do you think they can do? Let us know in the comments below and what you think the future holds for Thor.